You're tuning in to the Bueno Power Hour podcast. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bueno Power Hour podcast. I am your host, Arthur Bueno, and wow, what an insane 2018, along with now entering 2019. It's still kind of surreal because, we're in the new year, and lots of things are hopefully going to change, I know I reflected back on a other video on my vlog, just sort of sharing some experiences, but I kind of wanted to talk about the 2019 plans, and I got a little bit of them, artistically speaking, But damn, it's been a pretty interesting 2018 for sure. So for 2019, I had already started making plans and had already started a new project. Well, for one, I'm going to be doing a couple of things hopefully this year. I'm going to see if I can catch up on all the film that I have not processed and get those developed, and for the film that I have had already processed, to put them in some sleeves. Yeah, you heard it. I haven't had any kind of I haven't made any time to actually sort out all my negatives, and I have a couple of binders full of negatives that need to be sorted out. So that is one of the plans I have for this year, is to sort of catch up on some scanning and stuff and see what I had photographed over the last few years. Just last year I had actually photographed, or not photographed, at least had a couple of scans of 110 film done at home, and realizing how much of this stuff it's just really shitty, like, film. It really is. 110 film is like one of the shittiest films I've ever shot with, but I've seemed to find myself I don't know. It just seems pretty cool. Just it's so edgy. You know what I mean? Very grainy. A lot of character when exposed a certain way. Obviously, with it being scanned and digitized, I have lots of opportunity to do a little bit of manipulation on exposure and such, increase it, and also sharpen the shit out of it. I don't think I'll get probably the biggest print I can get is a 11 by 14 if I take care of it, and I'm pretty sure I won't be able to do. I won't be able to get the resolution that I want on a 110 scan, especially on my scanner, to do a print of a 11 by 14. But I'm going to be doing a couple of experiments with that and seeing how that works out. Let's see. Lost Loves. I think I had officially called the project Quiet Dreams in correlation with the Instax film project that I did last year. That corresponded with the music project, and I think that's going to be it. I definitely am going to be doing quite a bit of that editing on the music front, I guess. The Instax film is done. thankfully, and that's probably the reason why I did that project was, because I needed something that would just like, I didn't have to really think about it. I just photograph however I felt. But, excuse me. Um, and the music portion is definitely going to take quite a bit of time. That's for sure. That is going to take quite a bit of time. And I got to tell you, man, recording music once a month is so freaking difficult for me, at least, to try to think of a concept and, try to craft music a certain way. It was just it was almost a nightmare, to tell you the truth. But now I have sort of a different way of kind of approaching the batch of songs, and obviously it's all done, thankfully. But now I have sort of an opportunity to kind of edit the music and see if I want to keep what was written from the beginning or make, any subtle or drastic changes to it. And that's probably what's cool about this project, that, I can do that. I can actually edit music and change it to my liking and refine it quite a bit. I mean, all this production is going to be done by myself. The shitty thing is it's all done by myself. I don't have any help to produce this record, but I'm hoping I can actually start doing this shit. Maybe, I don't know, probably around February, because I'm going to give myself kind of some break and then sort of start going in on it. I don't have any time or money to actually get it sent to get it mastered. I'm going to have to do everything by myself, unfortunately. But yeah, it should be pretty good. I should be able to kind of work with these songs that I have and actually do something with them. So we're just gonna have to see. But above all that, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of time to kind of like think about it, and kind of go into it with fresh ears, a fresh mindset, and try to go to each song one by one. And then if there needs to be any changes, then I'll definitely do it. But with that being said, the project I'm going to be focusing on this year is going to be the 365 project that I decided to pursue again. I did this same project in 2012 when I was living in the Bay Area, and in that 2012 I was actually influenced by a local photographer there who went to my school and was photographing almost every day. The thing with his process, it was interesting because he kind of had a strict guideline. You would have to post before midnight. You can take pictures and use those pictures, whatever time, and actually post at any time of the day. He kind of had some guidelines, and I really like that concept. But the thing is that a lot of those images that he had, much like mine, sort of fell short towards the end of the year, and even in the beginning, because the momentum kind of just like fell through. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. You know what I mean? It's cool that, he actually pursued it. He did like 2 365 projects, like 2 years of 365. Insane amount of images, insane amount of posts, and he did it, and he probably got really burnt out on it. I got burnt out seeing him, but that doesn't make him a shitty photographer. It just makes him a lot more dedicated. And all he has to do is just kind of refine his style and sort of find his work to be Like, clearly he's very dedicated to the craft, but you know, he has to kind of like look at his images and say, okay, what can I do with this stuff? And that's kind of what I hated about my 365 project. I couldn't really do anything with those images. They didn't really have anything to say. They were just images to sort of that was just there, that like it was a documentation. Other than that, it was cool. It was cool that I documented all those images, and I was able to kind of look back and like, wow, I guess you can do with them. You can look at them and say, yeah, there's a progress into them. There's definitely, you definitely have, you definitely can look back and say, yeah, I actually photographed those images. And they can be used as influence as to how you would approach certain situations. So I guess the 365 wasn't that much of a throwaway. You can do something about it, but it's just really hard to do that. You know what I mean? Other than that, though, with this 365 project, I had put a couple of guidelines to it. There's a guide that I'm gonna follow with this. So number one, these images are going to be posted on Instagram. So they have a hashtag. They have 4 hashtags. The name of the project, which is BPWR 2019. That's the official hashtag for this project. The subject matter of a photograph, whether if it's a landscape, still life, a portrait, candid image, and yeah, hashtag 365, and then the camera model X100T. This is what's cool about it, is with the camera, at least that I have, I can use my Fuji X100T and bounce those images onto my phone and edit those images on my phone. There are a couple of things about that process, though, is kind of sucks. It's because one, when you're bouncing those images from phone to phone, from camera to phone, they're only JPEGs. You can't bounce the RAW files to them, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I mean, it's RAW file's huge, and so you would have to shoot your images with 2 formats, RAW and JPEG, just in case you have that RAW file and you can preserve it or whatever. And you bring it into you bounce it to your phone, and the editing app that I'm using is just really just the regular Photos application on the iPhone. And so you can just kind of play with the exposure, the contrast. You can play with the shadows, and the brightness and stuff. And that's really all I'm really doing, is just kind of just editing the images with that specific thing. Just the brightness, the exposure, shadows, contrast. It's not like intensive editing. And with that being said, the amount of images I'm posting is only 1 a day. That's all I can really do. So I have to pick a certain image to post for the day, and that be the final image, I also decided to put a white border around the image, and also as in the picture, like size. Okay, it's going to be 16 by 9. The only reason why is because I thought that it kind of looks cinematic with that, sort of setup. And so I just decided to do that. And yeah, that is the 365 project that I'm doing this year. It's actually been kind of cool. Um, I also had thought about like my blog as well. You see, like my blog, um, I think about my blog pretty quite a bit and seeing like how I was gonna put the content in there, and decided to sort of do a Bueno Power 2019 roundup for the amount of days that I'd photographed. It starts on Friday, ends on Thursday, and I post those images on Friday. And I already started doing that. As I record this, this is what day is it today? Can't even remember, man. It is the 6th. So, yeah, it's clear. It's very clear, like as to how focused I am in this project, just on the images that I've taken. I taken the approach of how I photograph. I kind of go about it a little differently now. What I noticed is that if I have the camera worn like a necklace, then I'm prompted to take more pictures. And I've been bringing two like bodies almost with me every day. It's my film and it's my digital. Excuse me, I've been so tired, man. Yawning over here. It's my film and my digital camera, and I've been bringing those quite a bit. And yeah, it's interesting because I've been looking for it. I've been looking for the images as I go to my route, and I've been looking for these images to sort of see like how I would approach something that doesn't mean anything. A lot of these images don't really have any meaning to them, but to be able to approach it to make it seem like there was something that I saw that was, I don't know, like that, like I saw that was interesting, like compositionally, I saw that this was really interesting. Yeah, it was kind of cool. You know what I mean? It was kind of cool to sort of see that, and be able to have and channel that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was great. It's been kind of cool seeing how this has been um this has been a thing that I've been trying to channel that has been actually working. No lie, dude. It's actually been fucking working, and I'm kind of excited about that. So I think I'm back. I think I'm back into photographing, and I kind of wanted to emphasize that this year. Last year saw barely any photographs sort of floating around in my gram, in my blog. I did Left in the Dark, which was the digital photo project all done in black and white. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so tired of this project, and it was such a bad project to do. I don't think I had a lot of what do you call this? I didn't have a lot of thought into it, and like it just was something where I can just like keep myself from like not straying away from photography, which I should have, but I ended up keeping at it and just got so fucking burnt at it. It was so dumb. It was dumb. It was really fucking dumb. So yeah, and this is supposed to help me to kind of go out there and start shooting in digital a lot more, to get a little bit more acquainted with it again. Just because I feel like I'm losing my touch as a photographer. I'm losing my touch as to how I approach, taking pictures and shit. And I don't know. It's been kind of a problem. You know what I mean? It's been kind of a problem as to how like this shit has been kind of like going on. But yeah, that's really where it comes down to. I just been trying to really get back into the craft and actually start like doing more visual shit, and I know like last year I've been doing a lot more music, and it's been nice. I was able to kind of like I've been able to kind of go and actually record a full length album, and I'm gonna do that again after this project's finished. I'm gonna actually go back into sort of writing different music again and shit. And so, it's gonna be kind of interesting how all that will go. You know what I mean? And that really is pretty much it. That's sort of the start of my sort of the start of my I'm just reading some. Sorry. I'm starting to kind of just see like where my artistry is going. So now I'm kind of trying to figure it all out and see what I can do for the next few months. Yeah. I don't know. I'm so out of it still. I mean, I still need to get more sleep, and I still need to kind of like channel a lot of this these ideas that I've been having, and actually make it kind of a reality. I just been so busy with like trying to get things all together. And I plan. I'm doing a lot of planning this year too, to move back to California with my girl, and hopefully, we can get that going. We'll find like a good job out there, and seeing if we can, not have to deal with snow and shit ever again. And I'm just tired of this weather, especially this weekend. This weekend it was just like rain most of the time. Tired of it. I'm just so tired of it. But anyway, yeah, man. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I just want to say, guys, thank you very much for sticking around. These podcasts are gonna be coming around a little bit more often than usual. From when if I can kind of sustain that that momentum. What I'm hoping to do, okay, is to keep a good schedule into the podcasting. I'm slowing down on the vlogs quite a bit this year, just because I feel like I've been so burnt out in the vlogging that it hasn't really been beneficial for me. Though that seeing all that for 2018, seeing all that kind of shit where I've eaten all these places was kind of cool to see, but I think I want to kind of focus a little bit more on like how the videos are, like the concepts and stuff, and maybe even like kind of rethink of how I will go about vlogging again. And I think I'm gonna start vlogging for the month of February, depending on how much like I'm still kind of planning on like doing more vlogs, still doing vlogs, like, not more of them, but less vlogs, but doing something that's a little bit more, I don't know, well produced. So yeah, anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening in. If you like this podcast episode, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want more uploads, if you want to check out more uploads, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well, and that notification bell to be notified that these uploads had come around. I'm still new at this podcast game, and I'm still new about how I approach this, but yeah, I mean, I really thank you guys for the support and sort of enjoying what I've been talking about, either just by myself with other people. But yeah, all right, guys. Until next time. Bye.